Okay, you can give me a countdown when you're ready.
Okay, cool. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey gamers. It's your boy Lil Y here. Post your mini donuts. Just get it all out of your system. I've already done a small trick in the run. I exited out to the stage select. Or to the file select rather, and then I went back into the stage to skip a little cutscene of Bomberman flying to the planet, only done on the first stage, first world rather. It doesn't work on the rest of them, and just a sec. That's a cool little trick right there. By dropping a bomb on that platform, I can conserve the momentum gained from the conveyor belts somewhat, because while I'm dropping a bomb, I'm not technically on the ground yet, so I'm still moving forward at an increased rate, and I have to do a little spin up those stairs, because otherwise if I don't, I will be dropping the bomb right into him, and it'll blow up. I'll take damage. Of course, that's no good. Usually not good. I do take damage on purpose sometimes in this run. I am a little worried about forgetting... Whoa. About forgetting what stage is coming up, because usually I have my splits open. I don't have those right now. That's no big deal.
Imagine it would make the biggest difference on the level with like 3 doors at the start, and you have to go through one at each time you go in it. Gravity room, I think, is one.
Oh yeah, that. No, I got all that memorized for sure. It's usually this next part. Yeah, most of the time save in this game is through just getting the straightest lines, minimizing frame loss. If you see dust frames or going slow, you'll notice that throughout this run I will be getting no dust frames whatsoever. I'm actually very, very fast at this. There's an interesting mechanic, kind of interesting, certainly not the first time it's been in a game, where you can fall off of a ledge, and if you do certain things, it'll boost you forward. Like, just in the water sections, all I have to do is slide off of it, and it'll boost you forward a tiny bit. If you've watched any of Pain and Coax videos on SM64, for where he explains how the wall collisions work, it's the same thing in play here, where, because of my my angle and all that, the movement is calculated, and I would be technically inside of the wall, or what have you, for a frame, if not for it ejecting me forward the tiniest bit. So I can do that multiple times throughout this stage, and again in the other underwater stage, to save fractions of a second each time I do it. It's done in normal stages as well, albeit to a more significant extent, and perhaps a little less frequently. You'll see me do it twice at the start of this stage. I drop a bomb, because that extends my collision backwards the tiniest amount. Just enough to where the wall ejects me forward. Oh yeah, tons of half A presses. Here's one coming up right here. Okay, I missed it. I can skip that ledge grab if I'm frame perfect with my half A press, and if I got the alpha frames lined up. There's also a bit of sub-pixel trickery in play. Right there, I dodged the Geodude because of the sub-pixels lining up.
Can you see the sub-pixels?
I can. I have a special flat screen CRT that I'm using. It's made by Polaroid. I wouldn't recommend it. It's very big, very heavy. Okay, here we have Nitros, a recurring, I suppose, mini-boss fight, who can be completely manipulated based off of your distance and position relative to him. So he's gonna skid, then run and jump at me. And I want him to run and jump for the final bomb throw, because if he dies while in midair, he just pops up and lands back down on the ground, which is faster than if he is killed while on the ground, because he just sits on the ground and some little animation plays where stars roll around his head. And that takes about 5 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'm the former SRL champion, and I remember the bosses are probably one of the more, at least I found to be the more frustrating parts of the run.
Oh yeah, in I imagine you played on English.
Yeah.
Yeah, the English bosses have twice as much health than they do in Japanese, which is where a lot of the Japanese time save comes from. Shit, this is a really tough stage to do well. But I've also been like mixing my strategies up a bunch and just kind of getting hit a lot no matter what. Getting that.
What's the name of the boss that's like a black mech with a single eye? Recently they found how to do like double damage hits on him.
That's Cronus. He's the only boss in the game where he can have multiple hits of damage at once. And there is a strat in here where you can jump around this wall. I do it in runs all the time. But failure means death, and it only saves about 4 seconds or so. So I'm passing it up for now. World record doesn't do it anyway. But yeah, I'm going to be going into World 2 with 1 bit of health, because in this fight I'm taking 2 hits of damage intentionally to reset his invulnerability. You see it, he becomes vulnerable as soon as I get hit. His little laugh animation plays. And at the end of each world, I reset the console once the screen goes completely white, and not before, because before, you might have to redo the boss fight. And doing that skips a handful of things. It skips some cutscenes, it skips the having to do the bonus stage, it skips the part of the game where it shows your score counter on each of the levels. And resetting is faster for all of them. So for safety's sake, I'm going to get a heart in this stage. Because there's a strategy in the next one that requires getting nice and cozy up next to an enemy at the exit, and it might be luck based whether or not you can avoid getting hit there. That's bad. I'm not too sure if his position is random or not, because it's only something that I've been doing recently. Oops. Okay, I missed it anyway. That's fine. But yeah, just grabbing the right side of that ledge is optimal in that situation. It's a little hard to get that movement down. And it is possible to sneak by without getting hit, so in runs normally, outside of a marathon setting, even if I just have 1 heart, I go for it. And this is the... Oh, my mistake, there's actually 3 of these stages in this run. I forgot. There's, I think, 4, maybe 5 in the game. You skip a handful of levels because some levels have 2 exits and you only have to go through 1 of them. make your way to the boss of each world. Okay, you can stun like this idiot if you're good. But sometimes it seems that no matter how good you are, he'll just screw you over. It's not really the case. Actually, he can be done consistently, but it's with a wide amount of variance. So I did get blown back. But you can stun lock him if you hit him enough, and with a good enough rhythm on your bombs. And yeah, this OST is very, very good. That's the one thing I hear people consistently say when they watch me run this game, other than, wow, nice Grinch hat. You got a really cool Grinch hat. And, wow, this run is actually really fucking boring. I'm out of here. Yeah, this run is... Oh, it's a little simple. It's a cute little platformer. But its simplicity is... It makes way for a lot of small optimizations. Like here. Oops. Oh, that was really bad. I dropped a bomb to conserve the momentum from the water. Just to, like, optimize the movement so that when I'm jumping, I'm not rubbing my face up against a wall or anything. I think... Okay, and this is Rockin' Road. I always forget the order of these stages. This is Rockin' Road. Damn, I can't really recall. That's fine. There's a strategy. There are a handful of tricks that aren't really done usually in a run because it requires taking damage. Like on this guy, I can take damage on the second bomb hit, and then his invulnerability period is a lot shorter than mine, so I can just run and jump into him for the third hit. And it saves like half a second, but doing all that, again with the momentum conservation thing there, off of a bomb drop, it made gravity continue to compound. That was really clean. I forgot what I was saying before this stage though. Probably something not too interesting. Okay. Here's a stage that's a bit of a pain. See if I can do this. I'm gonna focus real quick. This trick's a bit of a hassle. Taking damage and landing on the warp. Okay, I'll do it normally. Taking damage and landing on the warp makes it so you don't teleport. That trick is absolutely worth doing. And I do have pretty decent consistency with it, but it is a bit of a tough trick. But that's okay. The second world is full of hard stages. Oof. Nice. Okay, I clipped through the jail cell, which I meant to do, but I meant to do it after making the bars go away. Oh shit, that's no good. Because you can't clip back out. So you need the bars to be down. One bit of health isn't too bad. Because we have Nitros, who, again, can be manipulated pretty reliably. And when I say pretty reliably, I mean I have, like, done this the same way consistently at least 50 times in a row. Skid. I don't... The numbers at the top right can be used as a timer for throwing bombs. I don't actually do that. I absolutely should, because I lose time randomly. Because I have my timings mixed up. And this is a stage that's a bit of a pain. But it's also a bit of a saving grace because there's a golden heart that can be gotten, which refills your hearts completely. Here, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of time to get it.
Is this the... I don't know, I think there's 2 levels in the run that have the copter head thing.
I think there's only one that's done. There's probably 2 helicopter levels in the game.
So I remember one where it's like you're descending down like.
Oh
a
yeah.
thing.
No, that's the first level of the third world. You're right. It doesn't.
Is the do you skip all the ones that have like the jetpack thing?
I do one of them, and that's in the fourth world. It took me a while to remember the other helicopter one because you're not really moving around in it a whole lot. I guess technically the boss fight in the second world is a helicopter stage as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, like in Hades Crater, which is the other helicopter one, you're kind of just like falling. So the stage like takes the same amount of time no matter what. If that movement looked a little slow to anyone, that's because it was. If you go a little too fast, you'll run into the spike thing, and it's a real pain. Nothing's worse than getting punished for being too fast. That's not gonna hit it.
Yeah, levels like these I remember being like scary just because you wanted to take the corners jumps like as tight as possible.
Oh yeah.
And if you mess up a single one, you like fall down, and that takes like 30 seconds to get back up.
Yep. I don't think I can make that. I probably could have, but... Yeah, I kind of beefed it on that stage. It's all cycle-based somewhat. I'm sure the top platform doesn't load until you're at a certain point. This boss is a little random, but generally we wait until the timer says 9870 before we start ascending and dropping bombs. Yeah, I lost time due to like a snapback controller or control stick problem, which generally doesn't happen on N64, but I'm using an adapter to play on GameCube controller. Please don't tell the speed police. It's speed legal. See if she does it. That's all that really matters, I guess.
It's not the authentic experience, though.
Yeah. Well, the game's on Virtual Console. You can technically play with GameCube controller. But there's a reason it's not played on Virtual Console, and it's because, like I did just then, you reset at the end of each world, and Virtual Console has a bit of, like, sick
cutscene, yeah.
Yeah, it says, you'll need the classic controller, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. I think probably my favorite part about this game is 100%, which between English and Japanese is ridiculously different. The point requirements for getting a 5 in each level, which is just the definition of 100% in this game, a 5 in each level, including
and all ad-hoc bombs.
Yeah, a 5 in each level in all 6 worlds, and you need all the ad-hoc bombs to get to the 6th world, so it's... the definition is somewhat inferred.
What about low percent? No love for that?
Maybe someday.
Because getting the lowest, it's basically, yeah, the opposite of getting a rank 1, and on bosses, you just wait and let the timer go down to 0. And it's genuinely a terrible category.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it, and probably for good reason. That was probably one of the hardest tricks in the run. Not much else to be said about that, other than it can be sped up somewhat. I bounced on the top of the waterfall, and if my movement is good enough, I hit the top of the waterfall, but I don't bounce until I reach the bottom part, which lets me bounce into the exit instead of having to wait until Bomberman stands up to start moving. So that saves a second or so. Yeah, there aren't many tricks in this game. There are a few out of bounds. I found 2 of them. I don't know why. I'm using a handful of safe strats in this run, just kind of instinctively, because it's a marathon run, and that is definitely one of the strats I did just there that should have been a safe strat, but wasn't. I guess I'm just confident. Riker doesn't do that, by the way. Not trying to throw shade, but.
Is there any like time saving with the out of bounds found yet?
No. There's time save. There's out of bounds found in Heavy Room, which almost saves time, but you fall when you go out of bounds. You can like the stage will like vertically wrap, and you take too long to fall down to the ground for it to actually save time. And then there's another one in Sky Room, but it's literally at the very end of the level, and it's not helpful. And those are the 2 that I found when I was admittedly drunkenly rerouting 100%. Very thorough in it, though. And there's another one in Snowland, which is on YouTube. It's best in this stage to get hit by these bad guys, but typically if there isn't one just right in the path of that bubble, I just don't get hit by him. Okay. I guess I'm not getting hit by this guy either. That kind of sucks.
So you don't have to like wait for it to pop to get the next bubble.
Yeah. Also, this stage is a whole lot better in Japanese than in English. I don't know if you recall.
Dude, English is so much better.
Yeah, and they just got the car alarm enemies. I think there's only one in the stage, and it's at the very bottom.
It's so fucking loud.
Yeah. It's like ideally I'll be coming into this with 1 heart, because I will have gotten hit 3 times by those guys. So that little brown dude with the spike on his head is pretty frightening usually. Oh, that didn't hit. Oh, it did. Nice. That was really fast then. This is the 3rd and final underwater stage, unless you count the refight with Bulban in the 5th world. And there's a bug you can get in this stage, I think exclusively, where I think it's probably dependent on the angle that you're having your control stick at, where you'll just get warped to the bottom of the stage. It doesn't save time, it doesn't lose time unless you end up like running into a wall because of it or anything. It's not entirely understood why it's a thing, but I've gotten it so significantly more consistently when playing with N64 controller and a really loose, crappy control stick, so I think that's why it's based on controller or angle. Dude, speaking of angles, that was hot. If you do this well enough, you can hit all 3 of those and deliver a hit to him right before he starts moving, as well as right before he starts moving, which deals 1 hit, and then as soon as he starts moving, his invulnerability ends, because that's just how he's programmed to work, which results in a double hit. But you have to hit him with very precise timing. And it, of course, requires you to hit all 3 of those pillars that dispel the barrier really quickly as well, which is easier said than done. I will get a chance to maybe show that off in the 5th fight with Nitros in the last world, because he has barriers there as well. This is actually one of the levels that's slower in Japanese, because there's a warp that I'll be jumping to. I'm gonna play this a little safe just because I don't want to lose a whole lot of time. There's a warp. It's the one that's way back there off on the left. It's lower to the ground in English. So in English, you'll just jump down to the sand. You don't sink immediately. You can just keep jumping. And in English, it's within grab range. But in this, it's a little too high. So we have to ride the entire coaster over there. That was close. And beyond that, most of the stages are pretty similar. Hyper Room, which is the second stage in the game, you take a different exit in English because you need a key card to unlock the door that I went through in this. But in this, you don't need it. And as a result of that, you play the room or the stage called Secret Room instead of Heavy Room, which is done in this one. It's a pretty lame part of the run. Got 2 coaster levels. Each one takes like about a minute and a half.
Oh god, in this one, it's like, at the very end, there's an enemy that can fucking push you off a ledge if you don't jump right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, this stage is slightly different in Japanese as well. In English, you hit that switch that's like right in front of me to raise a platform, because otherwise you can't get up here. I think. I may be misremembering that, but I know that little section to get up to this upper area is slightly different in English. I just haven't played it in years, so I can't quite recall what it is. Oh, the corner's a little higher so you can't ledge grab it? Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, way back in the day, it was known that Japanese was faster, based on the knowledge that bosses took half as many hits alone. But since everyone was running on English, they just kind of kept running on English. Until this little dipshit came along, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get the record on Japanese.
Dude, our boy, PVT.
What'd he do?
He was the one who got it on Japanese. Well, he thought he did. He got Billy Mitchell.
No, that was me. I got Billy Mitchell. I tweeted.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was PVT.
No, I tweeted WR, 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 WR. Then Kirk Hugh just responded to that. That was a 2-push, by the way. Pretty sick. He just responded to that tweet with a link to an unlisted PB video of his that was faster than mine. I was like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, I eventually did get the record, and it was swapped between me, Kirk Hugh, Private Cinnamon Bun a couple times until it sat in Private Cinnamon Bun's hands for quite a long time because no one was really running it. Not to say there was a bad run, but no one was running it. And then Squid came along and he started running it.
Movestone is my favorite level.
There is actually a lot of things that can go wrong in this, and I've played this stage perfectly. And I'm surprised, since I've been talking the whole time.
Four push on the last. Don't need to do the correction.
I had visual cues. This boss is manipulated somewhat. Oh shit. Okay. If I stand right here, he'll continue walking. And I stand back here, he'll just start kicking some stones around. That was really fast. He'll start kicking some stones around, blah blah blah. If you do the positioning I did, the entire fight, you'll get the same fight every time.
Disgruntled in chat asks, what's your opinion on the absolute fucking state of SRG right now?
I'm not sure how it's been recently. I definitely spent like 2 years not going on it. But just the other day, I definitely went in there and I just posted the words Bomberman Hero, and then I responded to that very post like 9 separate times, pretending to be not myself. But I haven't like read any of the other posts. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. How long have I had Bobon's positioning consistent? Like, for 3 years-ish, I think? Did you not know that? I guess I haven't really told anyone that. I brought it up while streaming a few times, but... yeah, all that positioning with that fight prevents him from doing an attack where he, like, will breathe out stone breath or whatever, where if it touches you, it turns you to stone. And if you deliver the final blow while he's doing that, then you have to wait for that animation to end for him to die, which is no good. So manipulating him to not do that is key. Whoa, scary, scary. That's alright. Because this stage is mostly on a cycle dependent on that last guy. The last guy loads in when you reach the second dude in the section of where you're climbing up. This is the other stage with the out of bounds, by the way. It's reached by climbing up this little section. The left and right sides here. But in the previous stage, the movement from the very start up to loading in the top guy is what matters most. Everything after that is kind of like, eh. You can't screw up, what is this? Okay, Storm Valley. Give me a sec. Louis can backwards wall jump. Pretty cool maneuver. This might actually be a PB. Maybe. I am playing really well. Okay, that was not what I was supposed to do there, but the movement in this stage is really, really weird. And I don't quite understand it fully. It's been explained several times by Kirk Q, who has done a partial task of this game. And I'm pretty sure everyone that's like read it has kind of just been like, yeah, I guess I'll just do what I've been doing, because none of it really makes sense. I really should sit down and figure out this level though, because I know Squid has a 1 second faster best segment in the stage. I think the worst part about this game is that in speedrunning it, if anyone's typing in chat, it's you don't have a whole lot of downtime that can be spent reading it. Because even in these mostly auto-scroller levels, you have to get these slight boosts. I'm pretty sure this isn't a boost, but I don't know, we might as well do it just in case it is. so I can't really look away a whole lot as much as I like or would like to. This boss can be a bit of a troublemaker, kind of, not really. Those circular motions are, you can make the fight pretty much consistent, but if you hit him in the head, then he'll block his weak point, which kind of sucks. This stage is really difficult because you can't see your shadow, so you have to rely on you have to rely on visual cues. It's always very, very stressful. I have my visual cues down perfectly, but it's never gonna not stress me out doing this. And here's the fourth Nitrous fight. I had the strat down for him consistent at one point, but I've since kind of just forgotten what I've done, so I kind of wing it mostly. This might do it. No? Okay. 8880 is the goal time on these kinds of Nitrous fights. Nitrous 1, 2, and 4. So 8840 isn't that bad. I'm not sure how long each increment of 10 points is. Nice. That movement's always been tricky. Yeah, that was sloppy. These are some of the tougher stages. At least that one's tough to do really reliably. This one's super easy, but if you mess up, you lose a lot of time because half the stage is spent in low gravity, and in the low gravity mode, your animations are slowed down, even your ledge climbing one, like that you saw it just then, was instant, pretty much. It takes maybe like 2, maybe even 3 seconds to climb up a ledge in low grav. Kinda sucks. So the stage doesn't go wrong too often, and I can actually go past here. I don't have to land on that, but in landing on that, I can land on the platform that I did land on beneath it. Whereas otherwise, the effects of gravity would have been too great, and I couldn't have made it over there. And ultimately, it saves time. That's kind of hard to jump off of. You need like a frame-perfect jump, similar to Dark Wood and Waterway, in order to... Oh, shit. Get up there. In order to not grab the ledge on the ramps going up off of that. This stage is undoubtedly the hardest in the game. And I'd say it's probably because of that pillar jump at the start alone. Okay, and I have an opportunity to multi-hit Cronus here. Let's see if I can do it. Maybe I did. Okay, I did. Ideally, I would have hit Nadia twice during all this, because you see she's flying away right there. I have to wait for it to be done before she starts this phase of the fight. Whereas if I kill her before I kill Cronus, she flies away, instead of her having to wait until Cronus' explosion is finished. And this part is kind of luck-based, the amount of backflips she'll do. Ideally, it's 1. Sometimes she'll do 2, which loses time. Yeah, Cronus, the little, or the big black robot dude, you can, if multiple explosions connect with him on one frame, the damage of each of them is applied. He's the only boss in the game that's like that, and it's a real pain in the ass. I used to time this, but now I've just started spamming this fight now. Yeah, 8920. I even 8920 is what I used to get consistently just by timing my bomb throws. And you saw in that fight, there was actually like a pretty long period of time where he was walking around while vulnerable. So sometimes nuke strats prevail. Okay, here's the second chance for multi-hitting Cronus. Please. Okay, well, it's actually really difficult to multi-hit him. I feel as if that was a multi-hit. Maybe that too. It was, okay. So you can get times like 9160 with like a bunch of multi-hits. So it's not too bad. I think this is Nitros. Yeah. That wasn't too good. That's okay. Whoa. Okay, I don't know how much damage I'm on. Okay. It was a bit odd. Definitely not used to that disc flying around. Something that's good about the end of this fight is that it turns out Nitros is a good guy. He's been brainwashed by the bad guys, so when you defeat him, he restores all your health and firepower. I fucked up my strat here, so my bombs missed, which sucks because now I kind of have to wing it. That wasn't too bad. That boss can be really frustrating. Okay, now Nadia, this fight, it gets really random, but this, okay, I actually fucked up. I was just about to say, you can get the start of it pretty consistent. And you can, I just messed it up. I got too close to her, so she whipped me instead of trying to run forward. Which I had, like, dropped a bomb in her path. On purpose. But that's okay. Okay, here's the final boss. This is also a little random. Frustratingly so. When a bomb is out on the field, he'll teleport. So ideally, okay, this has been really lucky actually. Yeah, that was actually really lucky. Ideally, he'll do the dash, and you'll try to get the shortest distance with each dash. I'm at the focus here because you can kind of tell which TV it is. Okay. The little ring of smoke that's beneath it will sometimes, I'm pretty sure most of the time, appear at a different time from the two fake ones. And the collision on the fake ones, for like making him laugh, to be like, haha, you missed. The range in which, or the radius of that is a little bigger than the real TV getting hit, so it's that's why I kept throwing my bomb at a fake one, because he wasn't laughing, so I just assumed that I had missed hitting him, the real one. Okay, get ready on time. We have changed where the final split is. It's on the final score marker. Okay. Time.
44:53.
44:53. Okay, that's sub 45. That's really good. That's cool. There's definitely still time to kill for the rest of this marathon. This marathon is... The donations aren't going directly to a charity. Instead, they're going towards the venue fee cost for the NASA 2018 marathon, which is somewhere in Canada. What city is it in? Montreal?
Basically Toronto.
Toronto.
It's like in a city. It's like a town nearby that's like a different name, but I just call it Toronto.
Yeah.
I think it's like St. Catharines or something.
Yeah, and the donations go towards reducing the attendance fees of runners, not like each runner, or not like any specific runners individually, but instead overall, which is, I think, a much better idea than individually paying for runners. Yeah, we do have a lot of time to kill. This run actually started an hour before it was scheduled to, which isn't a problem for me. Not at all, but...
Yeah, the next runner, he has like a co-commentator who won't be here till like the properly scheduled time, so we got like 40-50 minutes to kill.
Yeah.
You got any second runs you could pull out of your ass?
No, I could see if Daly wants to run Sonic R. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Hey, there are a lot of differences, a lot of version differences that I didn't touch on in this during this run. I'll drop a link to my pastebin that I compiled. It's not even complete, but that's because there's just way too much to look at. Okay, Daly cannot run. It's a shame Bomberman's the only game I run right now. I'm sure you can find someone wanting to do a run of some sort.
Zaspat. I'll ask him here.
This is the best song in the game, and it's hidden behind the final boss. Not really the final boss. There's a secret 6th world to unlock. But I never got to hear the song when I was younger because I could never beat the boss. Because if you click on the paste, oh nice. Can you post that in the chat for me? That's the version differences. In English, when you reset the console, you don't maintain any bonus health that you've gotten. Your firepower and bombs reset down to 1. Among other things, English is just intentionally made a lot more difficult. Yeah, there's the pastebin of differences. Like I said, it's not complete, but that's because it's very, very, very different. And for that reason, the categories are kind of separated. Somewhat arbitrarily, honestly. And it's probably more to maintain the, like, oh, these old runs from these runners back when English was the only thing being run. Yeah, they're 5 minutes slower, but that's because the run is like 3 minutes slower in general or whatever. Which I'm sure a lot of people would have opinions about, but it also literally doesn't matter.
Alright, so it looks like Zaz can do Castlevania Chronicles. which is.
Is that the one with
says-
the girl?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I've seen him play it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Why don't we get that cheater 2-cat in here so we can play and splice together a Castlevania 4 run?
I don't buy it personally.
Yeah, just my opinion. Okay, well, was he ready to do his stuff?
I have no idea.
Cool. Oh, I can maybe show off something in this while we wait. I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna mash the start button really quickly. You can get some secret bonus content if you do that. I didn't mash quick enough. It sounds like just some bullshit playground rumor. Still didn't mash fast enough. Come on. I used to run Wind Waker. What the fuck? Hello? Come on. I don't get it, man. Do you really have to mash, like... How fast do you have to mash to get this? I'm pretty sure it's only like 10 times a second. There should be a 7th thing to select on the right. A light blue one. There it is. I don't know what they're saying here. I haven't ever done this in English. I hope it's not anything like racist or whatever. I also actually forgot what this is. I think it's just bonus stages. Oh, it is bonus stages, yeah, because you go to the moon. That's right. I should learn how to speedrun these. That'd be cute. You don't get anything for completing these 100% or otherwise. But there's a handful of them. Oh, wow. I just got fucking owned. I also don't know if these levels are any different in English. It could be.
Alright, I can, like, switch to setting them up, like, to the transition screen if you're, out of content.
Yeah, I mean, you can just switch it whenever.